Well, today, me and my friend Wess, he was kind enough to come down here with me. He's filming. He also makes the introductions to my videos here. I'm a real Luddite when it comes to these things, but we've took a trip, drove 3 hours, 45 minutes to the Georgia Guidestones. Well, I figured I would go ahead and read to you this. The story of the Georgia Guidestones began in June 1979 when a stranger identified as Mr. Christian, who was later revealed as R.C. Christian, it's a pseudonym, visited Joe H. Findley Sr., president of the Elbert Granite Finishing Company, Incorporated, and indicated that he represented a group of loyal Americans living outside the state of Georgia who wanted to build a monument focused on the theme of conservation. Mr. Christian, who had assumed this pseudonym because he was a Christian named Wyatt C. Martin, president of the Granite City Bank, as intermediary to hold funds in escrow for the project, explaining that the Guidestones group, which wished to remain anonymous forever, had selected Georgia because of its excellent granite, mild climate, and the heritage of his great-grandmother as a native Georgian. Christian agreed to Martin's request to locate the monument in Elbert County if there were a suitable remote site for it, which they found on a hillside that is the highest point in Elbert County, on the farm of Mildred and Wayne Mullenix, north of Elberton Highway 77. Findley's company carved the 6-part monument from pyramid blue granite. The Georgia Guidestones consist of 4 granite megaliths set in a paddle wheel arrangement around a central stone, which is surmounted by a flat capstone measuring 19¼ feet in height. At the highest peak, the stone group measures 17⅓ feet in width, and its diameter is 65 feet. The overall weight of the 951 cubic feet of granite used is 237,746 pounds. A ground marker west of the Guidestones provides additional data and covers a buried time capsule. Each of the 4 sides of the capstone features the statement of cautionary guidance to humankind, translated into Babylonian cuneiform, Classical Greek, Sanskrit, and Egyptian hieroglyphs. To let these Guidestones to reason. Below, the guidelines are carved into the 8 faces of the 4 outer stones in English, Spanish, Swahili, Hindi, Hebrew, Arabic, Chinese, and Russian. In English, the guidelines specify the following. So I figured we would go over here and just read what they tell us. So, this is the English piece of granite. I'm going to go ahead and read the commandments off to you. The first one, possibly the most ominous one: maintain humanity under 500 million in perpetual balance with nature. The next one, guide reproduction wisely, improving fitness and diversity. Unite humanity with a living new language. Rule passion, faith, tradition, and all things with tempered reason. Protect people and nations with fair laws and just courts. Let all nations rule internally, resolving external disputes in a world court. Avoid petty laws and useless officials. Balance personal rights with social duties. Prize truth, beauty, love, seeking harmony with the infinite. Be not a cancer on the earth. Leave room for nature. Leave room for nature. So, like I said, some of these commandments seem like some sort of utopic vision they have for the future. And I can't help but agree with their assessment that they want to maintain humanity under 500 million. I don't know how many people's alive today. I know it's a huge number, in the billions, easily. But what means will they go to in order to achieve this goal? But I can't understand, and I agree with, we need to be more balanced with nature, absolutely. And then the second one, guide reproduction wisely, improving fitness and diversity. They have to always throw diversity in there, I suppose. You know, I'm all for eugenics, you know, because modern society is extremely dysgenic. But it says improving fitness and diversity. What is improving fitness? Well, these people who had these stones that financed it, the hidden hand, you could say. When they say improving fitness, I can't help but feel that this is some sort of improving our fitness for servitude, for slavery. I want us all mixed together into this hideous racial amalgamation. It says unite humanity with a new language, a living new language. English is already a lingua franca, I guess you could say, so I don't really understand that. Rule passion, faith, and tradition, and all things with tempered reason. I can't help but feel that that is probably the destruction of faith, tradition, and passion. Protect people and nations with fair laws and just courts. Yeah, I don't really buy that either. Let all nations rule internally, resolving external disputes in a world court. Don't we have something similar like that today called the UN? You know, really, we have to be real with ourselves here. Violence is the primordial truth to nature. It always has been, and it always will be. Avoid petty laws and useless officials. Yeah, I don't buy that either. We sure do have a lot of useless officials and bureaucrats today. Balance personal rights with social duties. You know, I kind of worry what these social duties will entail. It says prize truth, beauty, love, seeking harmony with the infinite. Yeah, I think it's, when they say prize, what they should mean is eradicate. You know, I get this malevolent feeling being here, to be honest. Yeah, it's a unique monument. And I can appreciate the granite and the calendar that they have constructed here. I mean, after all, they called it America's Stonehenge. But there's just something unsettling, I guess you could say. And then the last one, be not a cancer on the earth, leave room for nature. I can agree with that. Absolutely. But you know, they say improving fitness and diversity, going back to that point. I mean, and the point where maintaining humanity under 500 million. You know, the third world, their population is exploding. It has the last several decades. You know, all the charitable work, the medicine, the food, everything that's sent to these third world nations, think Africa, Asia, the Middle East, elsewhere. Their populations are absolutely exploding, while our people's population, we're being eclipsed. We're dying off. We are becoming a minority very quickly. I mean, I believe it was during the 1930s or 40s, we made up 30% or so of the world population. Now our number is down to 9%. But if we want to look around here, right here is the Russian stone. Only 8 languages. And then if we go over here, we have the Chinese stone. All these are just the translations of the English stone. And here we have the Arabic script. And then we walk around to this side. We have the Hindi language of the Indians. And of course right here we have Hebrew. Funny how such a small percentage of the population speaks this language, and after whatever cataclysm it is that they have in mind, of course Hebrew will be around. And then on this side we have Swahili, and over here we have Spanish. So yeah, this is the Georgia Guidestones. Like I said, we're at the highest point in Elbert County. I believe right here the elevation is approximately 750 foot above sea level. Like I said, you know, you get a weird, kind of a weird feeling from this place. As you can see, it's got the direction, the cardinal directions marked. Here is south, going that way, west, directly there, east, north. And it's just got a diagram here of the Guidestone languages. And allegedly, this was erected on March the 22nd, 1980. Allegedly, there is a time capsule that is supposed to be buried under this slab of granite. If you look right here, it says placed 6 feet below this spot on, but there's no date right here. There's no date carved. So it's really uncertain if they ever bothered with placing a time capsule under here. And it says to be opened on, once again it's blank. Very strange. Possibly they set the time capsule. Perhaps they didn't. I guess we'll never know. And before I forget, also, on the southern side, we have classical Sanskrit. On the east side, there is Greek on the capstone there. Maybe you can see it. On the north side, we have Babylonian cuneiform. Then on this side of the capstone, the western side, it is Egyptian hieroglyphics. Anyways, we're going to travel back home. I'll have a few more things to say about this subject. As I said in the video, this place was it's a very odd place in a way. These massive granite megalith out in the middle of what was once a cattle pasture. One thing I noticed that was kind of strange was that there were no roadside attraction signs advertising this place. Actually, in fact, we were driving down Georgia Highway 77 and almost went past the place. If I hadn't have looked up at the right time and seen the megalith, I would have drove right by it. But anyways, I guess this is possibly because they don't really want this thing advertised. There has been several attempts of vandalism on the Guidestones over the years. You could see even in the video where they've had to remove graffiti and paint in the past. But as far as the Guidestones go, what is it? Is it some sort of LARP? Some sort of elaborate and expensive hoax? Or does it have some truth? You see, like I said, it's a real mystery whoever had and whoever financed the stone's placement. Sure, the guy's name, the pseudonym R.C. Christian, is only a pseudonym. He kept his identity protected, as did the banker Wyatt C. Martin. But there has been lots of speculation as to who this person really was. Some people believe, and see, I don't believe I mentioned it in the video, whenever he approached Joe Findley, the owner of the granite company, about producing these megalithic stones, Findley priced them several times much more than what he normally would have because he kind of thought the project was silly. However, when he offered his price to R.C. Christian, he readily accepted and was pleased with it. So, you know, it's really just mind-blowing to me in a way, you know. It's untelling how much money the granite company made from this, and his willingness to accept such a high price. That leads me to believe, you know, that he had powerful backers. Who these backers are, though, to this day remains a mystery. There's a lot of wild speculation about who funded and who R.C. Christian was. One source of speculation I came across was a blogger a prominent blogger who talks about unsolved mysteries, true crime, other things, a guy by the name of Michael East. He said that he believes that perhaps R.C. Christian was a white supremacist by the name of Herbert Kirsten, who was a doctor from Iowa City, or excuse me, Dodge City, Iowa. And you see, while this could be possible, there is a little bit of evidence suggesting this. If you think about it, a lot of the commandments on the stones go against what white racialists want, what they profess. The talk of the one world government, the talk of this sort of lingua franca, the destruction of beauty and tradition. Also, you know, and that's something that blows my mind to this day, to be honest, is how did the left ever co-opt environmentalism? You know, after all, our people look over the environment much more steadfastly than any other group. You know, they always blame us for pollution and this and that. But if you think about it, if you look at the statistics, out of all the most polluted rivers in the world, none out of the top 10, none of them are in Europe or North America. I don't understand, you know, how our side managed to lose out on environmentalism. But anyway, that's just one of the theories. And Wyatt C. Martin, the banker, he maintained contact with R.C. Christian, whoever he was, up until shortly before September the 11th, 2001. By then, R.C. Christian was alleged to have been in his 80s, and Wyatt C. Martin lost contact with him. They would go out to dinner occasionally whenever Christian would come down to Georgia. Also, the theory that I'm most in favor of is I believe that these Guidestones were set up by the Rosicrucian order, the Catholic Christian sort of secret society that has a lot of links to Freemasonry. But it's really hard to know. This mystery very well could be a mystery forever. And perhaps, like we said, it could have been some sort of elaborate and expensive hoax. It's really hard to tell, and perhaps we'll never know. But to close out this video, there is an interesting theory that my friend from Bulgaria, a guy by the name of Nord Lux, he's got an Odyssey channel, and I will put a link to it in the description box below, but he ran this by me a couple of weeks ago whenever I told him I was considering going down to the Guidestones myself. I believe it's in the Bible somewhere that perhaps during the tribulation, I could be wrong on this, I'm very rusty on this topic, but during the tribulation, it is said that 144,000 Jews will survive, chosen knights. And I believe it is 12,000 from each of the 12 tribes of Israel. And I believe also in the Talmud, it is said that whenever this comes to pass, each Jew will have 2,800 Goyim slaves. 2,800 Gentile slaves. And if you multiply 144,000 by 2,800, you come up with a number of 403,200,000. Is this possibly the number? Add about, what is it? 97 million, and you have 500 million, which is the most ominous commandment. Is this possibly what they're shooting for? And like I said, you know, it's very strange how there's these only 8 select languages, Hebrew being one of them, yet there is no French, no German, no Japanese, Swedish, so many languages lost. some food for thought, you know. Like I said, it's hard to tell if we'll ever know what these stones exactly mean, who financed them, and who had them built. Thank y'all for watching. Bye-bye.